Hey everybody, welcome back to Vibrational Shots. My name is Tandiwe, also known as Hey Tandi on the interwebs. And today I wanted to come at you guys with a quick video about polarization. I mentioned it a little bit on the timeline earlier today, and it's an emotional technique that I've been using in order for me to bridge the gap between what I'm feeling when I'm riding an emotional wave to what I would like to feel. So in essence, it's like a reprogramming tool, it's a healing tool, it's just a way for you to ride out the emotional waves that you may experience with the least amount of discomfort as possible. So essentially this technique is based in the principles of yin and yang, consciousness meaning internal feeling and external extroverted, and sort of like being able to know when you are in the receiving mode and when you are giving or emitting your energy, because polarization is a method that where you use the opposite of what it is that you're feeling. So the emotional examples that I used on the timeline were guilt and shame, and in my experience, I'm like looking over there, right? In my experience, when it comes to guilt makes me retreat inward. It makes me go yin, but in a dysfunctional way. It makes me want to shrink myself because I've done something wrong and I'm guilty and so in order for me to polarize an emotion like that, it would require for me to emit my energy outward, out of my body, and take up space, because guilt kind of wants to keep you feeling like, oh, I need to hide, I'm guilty. And so the polarization would be for you to like literally take up space. Now if you're feeling shame on the other hand, in my experience, I've experienced shame as like when I experience shame, there's something wrong with me, I'm unacceptable, and so I'm going to fill up the spaces, fill up all of the imperfect spaces so that I become like smooth porcelain filled up, right? And so I'm doing this sort of dysfunctional masculine thing of pretending, of masking, of hiding. And so to polarize that, I would use the feminine energy to let somebody in. So if I'm feeling shameful, I'm like, hey, yo, friend, I don't know, I need somebody to talk to about this, and I've been feeling a little bit shameful, so I'm like letting somebody into the vulnerability of my feminine self. And that polarization allows me to feel seen, allows me to feel heard, and it allows me to ride out that wave of shame, because now there's something else, there's another reality that exists outside of the shame that I originally felt. So if you go back to guilt, then guilt is like, you want to shrink yourself, and that's the dysfunction of the feminine, right? Because I said that with shame, it's when it comes to shame, the dysfunction of the masculine is I'm going to hide, I'm going to mask, I'm going to pretend. When it comes to guilt, the shame of the feminine is I'm not going to exert myself, I'm going to shrink, I'm going to hide away, I don't exist, I'm going to deny my existence, I'm going to abandon myself, and so on and so forth. And so that's why polarization works. So you're like, oh, okay, so this is the dysfunction that's playing out, and then I'm going to do the opposite depending on what is happening in order for me to fill in the gap between what I'm feeling and what I actually want to feel. I hope that makes sense. I really wanted to be quick about this and not like take up too much of your time. But try this technique out. Let me know how it works for you. If it does work for you, the only way these things work is through experimentation. So yeah, anyway, until next time, guys. Bye. Happy Women's Day. I'm going out for dinner. Don't I look cute? I look cute, don't I? Ow.